everyone, and welcome to Zeepkist Cup of the Day. For those of you who don't know how this works, we get 10 minutes to practice a map we have never seen before, after which there will be 2-minute elimination rounds where the slowest players get eliminated. This week, we've got a map by Codewalt. Codewalt has made a few Cup of the Day maps in the past. Spider. This is not Guralix approved, as Tommy says in chat. Okay, so stay inside there. Okay, some tough turns. Codewalt's got a lot of different map styles. This is one of them that I'm a little less fond of. It's like this indoor castle kind of style. It's usually a lot of these kind of sharp banked turns. That being said, if I'm given some time to actually practice it, which I will be today, start to learn the lines, maybe I can become good at it. Was not prepared for that turn. Wonder if you can go under that spider. There are quite a few spiders. YOLO says there's a risky finish, which, you know, you always have to take that with a grain of salt. I'm gonna assume not. Jackie coming in with the 44 flat right off the bat. I'm sure there is a lot of time to be gained in, for one, just learning the track, and then getting better at the lines, because it's hard to tell where the track's gonna go. So a lot of this is going to be about learning it so that you're well prepared for the turns, like this one that I was completely, still not prepared for. No, it's the second turn. You want to be wide in the setup for the right-hand turn. I think that's the first trick. So right here, I turned in too late. Weird skybox games also to make the lighting so red that my car actually looks black and red again. YOLO must be so pleased. The black and red car has returned. That feels very slow up there. I bet there's some speed conservation to be done. 44-0, I think that confirms, Zoman and Hydro, 43 ones. I was gonna say, I think that confirms there's no risky though, because I'm not far off the fast times. That was a much better start. Ah, Jackie, you haven't played with YOLO enough yet. He's still getting people. Okay, that was a really nice start. So maybe it's actually not about setting up wide for the second turn, it's just about turning in plenty early so that you don't run wide on the exit. That was a solid start. This section is still tricky because I don't know exactly where the poles are. I'm gonna take that as meaning you can't go under the spider, because I think that was Jackie that tried it and crashed. Oh, Mortarshade says you can, though. I assume that's the same one he's talking about. So Zoman with a 42.4. He's pretty fast. Pretty stacked lobby, it kind of always is, but yeah, I mean, you can see it. 8 of the top 9 are former Cup of the Day winners, make that 8 of the top 10. You probably don't want a tight setup there. Oh, these poor souls. Do get a little bit of airtime at the top there, which I saw Sandals got also. Also not trying the spider tech. So many people photo moding the end trying to find a risky finish. Hilarious. I recognize everybody commenting in chat as members of YOLO's conspirators, so I'm pretty sure there's not a risky. Zooming into the 41s. I am 5th. I'm just not keeping up with the really fast guys. I am still getting better with every single run, though. Ouch. I think that's Alex watching Kern Cobb. Usually a smart idea to watch Kern Cobb. I might want to do that before the end of warm-ups. I'm still just finding better lines, though, so I kind of want to keep practicing. There might be room under the spider there. Might want to try that once. This is kind of a slow run, isn't it? So CP5... I'm trying to remember where the finish is. It's right here. Because I don't think I necessarily want to be jumping at the finish. It's a very minor thing. You know, we're talking hundredths of a second at most. But I seem to keep ending up not where I want to be at the finish. But every corridor looks the same, so it's hard to remember which one has the finish. Oh, you're just really terribly set up for that turn, though. So this is the glowing room. So if you can go underneath, you can run out wide. Would that save speed? Because this is the super slow spot of the track. So if you went underneath, ran up wide, you would have to turn pretty tight to make it. If you could do that without losing speed, it might be faster. Or it might just be risky. It's a pretty simple layout, this one, but the fact that you're contending with the walls and just kind of the natural blindness of being indoors is making it a little bit more challenging than it appears. Yeah, I think it's just risky, and I think it does force you too close to the left wall. It's not feasible to get around that. There's a pillar on the inside of turn 1 that I almost hit there. Might want to be a little bit aware of that. I did hit it that time. Just with my body also, not even with the car. Oh, I see. I want to be a little bit wider so that you don't get a jump. I'm curious what people are doing on that hill, because generally speaking, I would think I don't want to get that little jump like that. But that also is the inside line, and I'm not sure. I haven't been able to do it smoothly, where I'm sticking to the ground. I think I'm going to go for a any finish on my first run, and then watch Zomin or Curran at the end of the first round. 14th in the warm-up round is not great. Like I said, though, this is a stacked lobby. Top 7 are former Cup of the Day winners. 9 of the top 10 are. I think there's 11 Cup of the Day winners in this lobby, so pretty stacked. It always is these days, but tough for sure. Okay, like I said, any run. Let's take it. Don't hit that inside pillar. Run out just wide enough to go smooth. Yeah, that little jump right there is what I don't like, because I think that would lose speed. Hitting the ground makes you lose speed. So the question is, like, is that little jump worth it to keep an inside line? That's where I'd really love to see what one of the better players are doing. And with that slow section there too, I would think speed conservation is pretty big for the first half of this map. Anyway, that is time. You can watch Zobin is Kern around here also. Hydro is... here, this should be good. Kern, Quick Racer, Sturbin. Okay, so Kern goes very high, so the exact opposite of what I was doing. Really making sure he gets no airtime. And you see he loses a little bit. Actually, there is time for me to get another run still. So let me try this. He runs up so high here. I think I still got a tiny bit of airtime, but hopefully less. Oh, wow, that's like the exact same. I did have a bad middle. I think there might be an in-between where you're on the right side, but you kind of go left a little bit to maintain traction. It's like a middle line. I don't know. That's tricky. That's pretty much the trickiest part of the track, I think. Round with the 41.8. Only 4 DNFs, and one who said they were just going to spectate because of lag, so pretty good. A pretty simple track. Once you know it, I wouldn't expect any DNFs, really. It's just going to be, ouch, about optimizing, which I'm not doing the best at. I feel like simpler tracks tend to favor me, though. I don't know. I say that every week. Oh, this favors me, and I'm not really sure if it does. Okay, there. I got like almost no airtime, and I still had a pretty tight line. Down a little bit of speed, more so I think because my next turn was bad. I feel like that was a clean ending also. 42.6. Still a little bit off the pace. Only 10th at the moment. Sure to drop. Yeah, just give it a little tap to the left at the top of the hill, just so you stay with your wheels on the ground. This turn's really annoying also because you have to get around the pillar, which you can't see until the last second, so it's just intuition to know where it is. Jackie DNF, or did she just leave? I'm not sure. So Zoman with the 0.8 that time. Zoman's is the world record. Rounds wasn't the previous round also. Gosh, trying to say the name round and then not say the word round in the same sentence is way too difficult. At least the simplicity of this track is keeping me fairly consistent. I'm not making any massive mistakes. We'll see when I start getting more aggressive with those pulls. This one on the right is a little bit scary also. What I would love to do though is get these kinds of speeds more often, because that's going to be 0.3, so that was a 0.3 improvement. I just seem to be struggling to keep speed through the middle part of the track. That's where my inconsistency has been. Got very close to the wall on the left. Actually barely got airtime with that line. I think that's the good line. Got a little bit of airtime on the downhill part, actually. I think that speed loss is just a result of me oversteering. And that does carry, unfortunately. Tapped the inside wall, which is not the best either. Let's just reset, because that's not going to be an improvement. Kind of want to try this line again, make sure that wasn't a fluke that I got it. So I ended up super far to the left side, but I kind of diagonaled up the hill. I got a little bit of a jump that time. I feel like there's a line, like if you could get... I don't know. I don't know which way I went, but it kind of just perfectly evened out my tires so that I didn't get a jump and was able to take it smooth. This time it's Jake adjacent with the 0.8, so trading off who's winning these rounds. 3 rounds, 3 winners so far. I think tight first turn is beneficial so long as you don't get a jump going into turn 2. Oop, did get air on the uphill that time. I'll take this anyway. Did not lose too much speed with that, I'm still up in time. The closer I get to that first pull on the left, the better. Which I hate because I'd rather not be getting close to that at all. Apparently not the greatest ending. Well, I'm just consistently in the 42s. This is pretty much a standard cup for me, where I just sit around the edges of the top 10 and hope that I slowly get better as the cup goes on. +1 speed, but I had a little bit of a jump. That speed's not super reflective of the actual run, because it's in the middle of that turn. I feel like I was in the middle of the turn when I hit that checkpoint also. 0.1 sounds about right. I'm curious if I could catch anybody right at the end here. Are they going to the left side of the track to not get airtime, or are they just jumping to the end? Quick Racer got a jump. A couple of people getting pretty big jumps, actually. Because the left side of the track is just further, because you're coming from the right side. And we are seeing, like, Zoman, for instance, just stayed on the right side and took the jump. Kern was kind of middle. I don't think that matters too much. That's just really tiny improvements. Kern breaks into the 0.7s here with Jake adjacent 0.80 right behind. Pretty good. Everyone's gotten times the last 2 rounds, which makes sense. There's not a whole lot of threat of DNF, just a couple of pulls that you can hit. But it's a short track too, so there's lots of chances to get resets. That second turn's pretty difficult also. You want to take these first 2 turns as tight as possible, but there's the little hump you need to get over before turn 2, and just the fact that you have to make the second turn, which adds challenge when you're trying to take these turns super tight. Little bit of air on both sides of that hill. Oop, touched a spider leg. Not a bad run. The splits were mostly yellow, but the time was right there the whole time. Yeah, it's just so... ouch. So hard not to get airtime. Another thing about this beginning, just a small thing I'm doing, you always want to try to turn with the banking in your favor. So, you know, when the road is more tilted, do more of your turning there. It tends to allow you to do minimal steering. So I'm doing a lot of the heavy turning for turn 2 right at the beginning when we're fully slanted here. And then trying to ease off of it at the back end. I think that should save more speed. So long as I don't jump at the top of the hill. Starobin wins this round, so that's like... is that 4 different winners in 5 rounds? 0.7, new world record again. That might have been clean. It's really hard to tell. This checkpoint's not till the next corner, and it's in the middle of the turn. Yeah, saw that coming from a long ways away. You do still get 2 runs. There's time for 2 runs after the neon pole room. The eyes are a little hurty, I agree with Ronan. The red skybox was never very well liked in this game, and I think the custom red skybox is also not very well liked so far. I have shadows off also, which might make a little bit of a difference. I think I don't like to turn shadows on because it tends to add to lag. I am curious what it looks like with these lights though. Oh, that was a bit wide. It was still decent speed. And I'm keeping it close. Yeah, so I think you can jump the very final one. You just don't want to jump that last little S-bend piece right before the end, because that's where you'll lose speed and actually lose time. Pretty solid start. Minimal airtime. I think that speed is just a result of me being very high on the road. The minus speed split. Yeah, see, I am plus there. I don't know if it's beneficial to go that wide in the pole room. If I'm gentler on the turning, it does help me avoid the pole on the inside, and theoretically, I think I should save more speed that way. Which might be useful because that is where the slow speed section comes in. I just want to see shadows on real quick. I'm going to turn it back off because it's no doubt going to make me laggier. I think it's just a little bit darker. I thought the lights might be making patterns, but I don't think they are. I do think it's darker. Alright. That was just a little experiment. We'll undo that. Anybody coming to the finish? I don't think we've had any DNFs in the recent rounds. Can't tell when people leave the game. Still 4 eliminations in these rounds. So that was top 22 making it through. I feel like this cup's going along kind of slowly, and I think part of it is because the track is so simple. I don't have like a whole lot to talk about or to look into. Just trying to optimize lines. That was a nice start. Jobber very far to the left. We'll see if he actually maintains speed. I have a lot of speed though. Yeah, everyone actually goes pretty wide on that turn. I think that makes sense. It's more speed conservation to turn slowly like that, and it sets you up to save more speed on the uphill turn also. And then that's where the speed saving really pays off, is at the top of the hill in the slow sections. 42.059. Getting close to those 41, so actually I'm not that far off what the top players are doing. Kern did set a 0.5, but mostly it's been 0.7s and then like consistent 8s and 9s. So I'm not too far behind. This is what I usually do, just sit at the edge of the top 10 until the later rounds when I actually get to figure out the track. This is going to be tough in the late rounds though, because there's just so little places for improvement. It's going to require mega precise lines to actually beat the players at the top. Like Quick Racer, who's just set a 0.6. How many different players have we had win a round in this cup? There was another cup recently. Was it Didi's map where I had the early DNF, where we had like 7 different round winners? I think we're well on our way, and with how stacked this lobby is, I wouldn't be surprised if a few more find a round win. A couple DNFs there. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see more DNFs as the cup goes on. Because it's not a hard track to finish, but it's going to be a hard track to optimize, like when you know your time is not going to cut it. Ooh. Just kind of turned in the air. Jacob Jason's got some speed. This is actually personal best speed for me, and Jacob Jason's flying past me. Okay, I did seem to lose some speed right at the end. 41.4! Wow, yeah, no wonder he was flying past me. Someone's trying to outer? Oh, he's faster too. Oh no. I saw this early on and completely forgot to test it. Hey YOLO, there's the comment. At least Lexer has a black and red card now. Didn't even need to wait to upload the video. I don't have time to improve, and I'm not in the safest of positions, actually. I'm just noticing. Need to get off of that wall ride before... Oh my god, +5. It's gonna make that a bit tricky. That outer is totally the way to go, isn't it? +1. I can't maintain speed. Kern has also set a 0.4 though. I kind of get the feeling everybody's just... everyone's just found the outer and is starting to do it, or has just figured out how to do it well. Oh yeah, cool time, R-Tube. I guess we are so close in skill. Can't escape him, ever. where are we? 14 players left, so only 2 eliminations in this round. Nobody trying the outer wall ride on their first runs. Ooh, wait, was that the good way to do it? I found, like, the part of the bump, I think, that lets me stick to the ground. I did not execute it well, but I think that's theoretically the line. Solid ending, also. Not my greatest beginning, but it was a solid ending. Point 2 is on the verge of being safe. And Kern still doesn't do the outer. Even Zoman is watching him. Okay, Kern kind of did the same line that I just found. Surprised, actually, that that's not green in speed, but I guess it's pretty close. That's green. Alright, new PB, 42.01, getting so close to the 41s. Ping or and me, are they coming to the finish? No. One of them is going backwards and the other is crashed. So, what about that outer wall ride that we were discussing in the last round? Because I was up a ton of speed. Can you actually keep that speed? I did have some of that speed. The speeds were green the entire run I did the outer wall ride. It just wasn't close to making up the time difference. A lot of people go much wider than I did there. I also lost 2 speed compared to my PB. Which was kind of fake, I guess. It's just where I hit the checkpoint. I can reset at the pull turn, so it's a solid run. I'm a little bit down in speed, but the time split is good. Oh, okay, never mind. This is what I was saying about getting later and it being very difficult to put together good enough runs to beat the rest of these guys, who are all crazy good racers also. That jump is not ideal. I think I just barely get 2 runs though. Oh, plus speed, okay. That jump was ideal? I don't understand that jump. It's not about minimizing air time, it's just about getting the cleanest landing, I guess. If you can even call it a landing. Wow, I don't understand the speed splits at all, actually. 42.0 might be enough. That's right on the verge. So is my time for this run. We'll see if I complete this or not. Down 3 speed that time. Maybe it's just because I'm so deep into the corner with that line. Looks like RTube and Jobber already claiming they are out. And it's so hard to be consistent with the speed conservation. I did not have time to finish that. Yeah, so probably needing a 41 at this point. What is that? That's only 11th on GTR. There are 10 people with 41s. Not necessarily the 10 that are still in. Actually, looking at the leaderboard also, every single person in the top 10 is a previous Cup of the Day winner. I am almost certain that we've never had a Cup of the Day where all of the top 10 have been Cup of the Day winners. I think I tapped the inside wall. Ooh, that should be okay. The car kind of like tilted forward, which I think helps minimize the impact of that jump. Or specifically the impact of the landing. That felt not the cleanest through the pole room. Not bad, still a 42, but it is another personal best. I think I just don't have the speed to contend with the top guys today. Sandals was 10th in the last round also, so we may just be 9th and 10th again. No, not the tap of the wall. And then I turned way too much. Still green. Oh, I need a 1/10 improvement though. Man, that was PB pay. It was a PB still. But come on, that was such a much better PB. Yep, the YouTuber's out. So our tubes won the Troll Cup also, so that's 11, top 11 are Cup of the Day winners. That is insane. Kern looks like loads in last, so we will stick on with him. Looks like Kern and maybe Sterbin are the only two going super tight to the inside in the first turn, which is kind of what I was trying to do. Zobin got a lot of air, but it looks like he still has the speed. A couple of different setups for some of these turns. Yeah, pretty much everyone doing that line there. It's a very gentle steering line run out. Pretty wide. Yeah, I mean, the lines are going to be the same. It's just who can execute them cleaner. I obviously couldn't do the turns cleanly and consistently. Quick Racer leads with a 41.4. Quick Racer has the world record, the only one in the .3s, just barely. Kern Cobb also a low .4. Looks like Zoman taps the inside wall there. Also, he does have time to take this run and another. Round without a time. Ooh, goes very wide there. Kind of like that. I feel like maybe he's allowed to keep more speed by doing that. Oh, he tapped a pole though. I think he did. Sterbin also coming to the finish. Sterbin goes third fastest round. He's going to get knocked out in 7th. Hydro says he clipped as well. Quick Racer, no improvements. It looks like that's all for this round. So Round and Hydro eliminated. Some of the big boys. Round with 11 Cup of the Day wins. Hydro with 8 getting knocked out. Still have the top 2 that are in this lobby with Kern Cobb at 33 wins, Zoman at 24. Quick Racer looking the fastest at the moment, though. Quick Racer with 5 wins. Early resets. A couple people. Quick Racer a little bit higher around that turn, so really prioritizing speed, I think. Prioritizing not getting a jump there. Oh, hits the pole on the left side. Yep. Most people having reset. It's just Sterbin and Zoman. Zoman with some more speed. Sterbin does reset accordingly. Sterbin will not have time for 2 runs. Zoman the only one on his first run still. It's a solid one, 41.6. I'm not sure what is needed at this point. These guys are pretty good. First person view Pandamain coming to the finish right behind Kern Cobb. So nobody tops Zoman's time. Is Pandamain in the most trouble right now? Especially with Quick Racer and Sterbin, who both set very good times. Currently not on the board. There's Quick Racer with a .5. Only 1 elimination in this round. Sturbin resets very late. Sturbin also a first-person enjoyer. Following the dark green names, Jake Adjacent and Quick Racer. Looks like Sturbin does a really good job actually to not get airtime despite the more inside line. Has caught up to Quick Racer in that turn. Oh, Pandamain well off the track, so Pandamain might be in trouble with that 0.8. Sturbin looks fast. It looks like Quick Racer's starting to get some speed back on Sturbin. Looks like it's been a solid run so far, though. It is just enough to snipe out Pandamain. So Panda eliminated in 6th. Sturbin will move on. Quick Racer wins yet another round, followed by Zoman, Kernkop, and Jake Adjacent. Kern always loads in the latest. Actually, it's Sturbin. Sturbin loads in the latest. Pretty similar lines. Quick Racer is a little bit higher on the road there. I don't know if that means he's really saving more speed with less of a jump. It's really hard to tell when I was driving what actually saves speed. I think we had 2 casualties to the pole. Zoman, Quick Racer, Sturbin still on their first runs. Seem to be pretty similar speeds here, not a lot separating the 3 of them. Zoman with the 0.7, Sturbin right behind with a 0.72, and Quick Racer a little bit off the pace at the 0.8. Kernkop might have enough time. Actually, I don't think he does. This is Kernkop's only run unless he resets right now. Jake Adjacent also set a 0.7, and we know Quick Racer's faster than that. He's set faster times than that in most rounds. Kern goes fastest with a 0.5. It is Quick Racer on the bubble currently. Coming to the finish right now. Final turn. Little jump to the finish. 0.6 from Quick Racer. It's solid, but it's not that far ahead of Elimination Zone. Just a 1/10 of a second off of the elimination time right now. Whoa, that was so tight from Jake Adjacent. I'm surprised he didn't clip the inside wall, actually. Gave a little bit of space on the inside at the turn at the top of the hill. At the slow turn. No improvement from Jake Adjacent, so Jake knocked out in 5th. Kernkop with a 0.5, a little bit off of his record of a 0.4. Quick Racer still has that 0.3. Haven't really been seeing the personal best times falling that much lately. Zoman and Sturbin tied the 0.53 personal best. The top players, though, right now when the pressure is high, not quite finding the consistent lines. Kern with a very different line there, actually. Seemed to get a pretty good line at the top of the hill, too, coming in from the right side. So Kern has a tighter first turn. He does reset. But Kern has a tighter first turn, and then it allows him to set up wide for the second turn, get a tight exit. And then I think theoretically... Oh, Sturbin clips the inside post. I think theoretically that gives Kern a good angle for the top of this hill also. Everybody resetting their first runs, so everyone's a bit scattered right now. Kernkop also one of the keyboard players. You can potentially see the steering limit usage. Kind of looks like he's never holding full steering though. A little bit right there, 80% around that turn. He's doing a lot of tiny little taps to make sure that he makes it. And makes it cleanly, which is difficult to do. Quick Racer back into the 0.4s. We've got 2 very close times with Kern and Zoman. The low 0.6s. That's going to be tough for Sturbin to beat. A little bit wide coming to the top of the hill, following Kernkop. Kern a little bit of a wider entrance. I think that's going to compromise Sturbin's speed. That actually just seemed really tight overall from Sturbin. not entirely sure what the speeds to expect are. We'll see. Oh, a little bit of a jump at the end too. Yeah, Sturbin knew that was bad. I don't know why spectator cam does this to me sometimes. Sturbin eliminated in 4th place. Quick Racer looking really fast. Kerncop did improve to a 0.4 as well, just 0.02 of a second behind Quick Racer. Not a new personal best for any of them, but Quick and Kern still showing that they have the potential to do those ultra fast times. Zoman lagging behind a little bit. His personal best is 8.53. He's probably going to need a PB if he wants to make it out of the 3rd place round and into the finals. Kern resetting might have been getting starting to get some airtime last we saw him. Got some different lines coming down the hill as well. Nice tight line from Quick Racer. Nice tight lines, both of them there. So careful to not hit the inside wall. Oh, Zoman with a bit of a jump also. Does go fastest though. That is a PB from Zoman, 0.526. Quick Racer going to need to improve. Quick Racer's been showing pretty consistently that he can do the 0.4 or at least a low 0.5. But he has had a couple slip-ups in a couple of these runs that just haven't quite had the speed. Kerncop still back towards the beginning. Also, a little bit of a jump, but I think that was a fine landing. No more time to reset. We'll get to see this checkpoint split. Does not choose to reset. Is keeping this run. Does hit the pole on the inside, so Kern is going to be out with the DNF. We'll see if Quick Racer can put in another good time here. Not going to bother. Zoman, the only one still doing a run. 0.41, so okay, Zoman proves that he can do it also. That livens things up for these finals coming up. Zoman has 24 Cup of the Day wins. A Zeepkist leading 19 second place finishes. Quick Racer with 5 Cup of the Day wins, and actually a large tally of 13 second place finishes as well. Quick Racer does have the world record with the 0.39. Haven't seen that time come up recently, but Zoman did just set a very good time getting very close to that. Into the finals, Zoman loads in just a little bit ahead. Quick Racer a little bit tighter at the beginning of the turn, but Zoman wrangles it back in at the end. Early reset from Zoman. Quick Racer does go a touch higher at the top of the hill than the others have. Pretty clean first run, goes out wide there, right up to the right side wall, using all of the track, probably maximizes the speed. So tight there, I can't believe he doesn't hit the inside wall every time. Solid turn at the top of the hill. Seems like a clean enough run so far. 0.6, so not the fastest. It's solid, but it's not the fastest. We did just see Zoman put up a 0.4. Both of them will get 2 full runs. 0.52 from Zoman, so Quick Racer is the one that needs to improve. Very tight, got so close to that inside beam. Looks solid so far, not too much airtime. Oh, clips the pole, just not enough time to reset. So Quick Racer, despite the fast times earlier on in the cup, does not manage to put it together in the finals. Zoman will have seen him as he drove past Quick Racer's crashed car. Zoman wins Cup of the Day number 25 for Zoman. Also improves to a 0.49 right at the end. Congratulations, Zoman. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see stats and results, I always post the link to my spreadsheet in the description below, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.